What's up? What is up? What is up? What is up, people? First off, sorry for passing out on y'all yesterday. I was dead tired. I was dead tired, man. I tried to get through the entire video, and man, Leaf, sorry I passed out on you, bro. Man, I was laid out tired. But the one thing I'm also tired of is this disrespect that's going on. Oh, what's up, HD? Yeah, I saw you live, and it was like as soon as I got on there, it just ended. And I was like, man, that's what happened to me. I was apologizing to old Leaf. Then this girl called me. She was watching my page. I thought it was Uncle Frank that called and hit me up. Because I was like, I got your number. Why did you call me private? She was like, that was me that woke you up. I was like, oh, okay. Now, Grace Jabbari is suing, absolute flat out suing Johnathan Majors. Now, you might want to ask yourself, why is that happening? Why now does this woman want to come out and sue Johnathan Majors? And what could be the reason? What could be the reason this woman wants to come out and sue Johnathan Majors? Because of him and Megan Good. And people are pushing her to do so. But this is a scorned woman, a scorned white woman. We're seeing the same woman that was chasing him down the street because she want to see the phone. We seeing the same reason why I got to stay away from these crazy white women. That's the reason. Crazy white woman. She'll throw you in jail, have you in court. You can't get a job. Nobody want to hire you. Johnathan Majors, who did not abuse this woman at all. She got bruises on her hand from swinging and hitting him. They got all this footage, yet and still they wanted to find this man guilty. He's got to now go back to court to get an appeal to get the right decision that should have happened the first time around. Now, Grace Jabbari, in this newly filed lawsuit, alleges that she, this is her, she alleged that Johnathan Majors committed assault, battery, and defamation against her in a series of episodes that took place between 2021 and 2023. In December, New York criminal court had found him guilty of assaulting and harassing Jabbari during one of those episodes during an argument that took place in March of 2023. So now Jabbari's civil lawsuit was filed Tuesday in a federal court in the Southern District of New York. In addition to the New York incident that led to Johnathan Majors' conviction, Jabbari alleges that he was physically violent towards her during incidents in Los Angeles and London as well. In London in September 22, she recalls that Johnathan Major started hitting Grace's head against the marble floor while strangling her until she felt she could no longer breathe, but allegedly talked her out of seeking medical treatment despite her head injury. Afterwards, in this crazy lawsuit, Jabbari told Johnathan Majors in a text message that she had brain fog and constant ringing headache, but he threatened to kill himself if she sought out a doctor. In a current suit, Jabbari asserts that Majors has also resorted to very publicly abusing her reputation in the wake of his arrest and following his criminal trial, including calling her a liar at every turn, with the goal of convincing the world that Grace is not a victim of domestic abuse, but instead a crazy liar who should be treated as such. Mhm. In a brief statement emailed by the lawyer prior, she said that Jabbari's suit was no surprise and that her client, which is Johnathan Majors, is preparing to counterclaim her lawsuits. Now, in this domestic violence trial that was held in New York, he was found guilty of 2 misdemeanor assault charges, the third degree harassment and a second degree. Now, it was a split verdict. The jury found Majors not guilty of intentional assault in the third degree and aggravated harassment in the second degree, signaling that they did not believe that Majors had intended to hurt or harass Jabbari before the argument. So on April the 8th, he's expected to get his sentence. Within hours of the December verdict, Marvel and Disney announced that they had dropped Majors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Earlier, Marvel had planned to feature him in the whole Avengers film that was going to be major, 2 major films that was going to shape the new direction of where Marvel's going. So now, in February, 2 other girlfriends of Majors, Emily Duncan, who Majors was engaged with between 2015 and 2019, and Mara Hopper, who also made accusations about him. Both women alleged that Johnathan Majors had been controlling and emotionally abusive, while Duncan also accused him of physical violence, right? Now, this person named, what was that? What was that? He went through his lawyer. He put out a statement through her, and he denied both of the women's accusations, and they were just toxic women, which is fine. But it seems like these problems happen when he date white women. I'm just putting it together. Now, Rolling Stones put out an abusive piece to try to make him look guilty by interviewing those 2 women while he was a student at Yale University. And of course, he vehemently denied all of the accusations, as these are now scorned women who now said, okay, I dated him and I didn't like him either. So now they want to use this as evidence. Like, we got evidence now. You are a bad man. So as you can see, this is the pull, this is the direction, and this is the way they want to portray. Oh yeah, this is what they want to do. This is the way they want to portray. Oh wow. I gotta congratulate my friend. All right. They did him dirty. Well, they always do people dirty. It's not, that's what I'm thinking. See, women are out here filing $20,000 a month child support, and they've been programmed to be against black men the same exact way. My thing is this, and yeah, you say who cares until next thing you know is happening to you. You see, that's what they always get you with the who cares, right? Who cares? Nobody cares if this happens. The next thing you know is happening to you. And then it goes off the rails. Well, we've seen a lot of it now. So when you have a lot of it play out the way it did and the way it's doing, yeah, when you get on, he'll leave you for a white girl. And now you have a spiteful white woman who lived in London, who lives mostly overseas, live in New York, travel. She's a woman that's going to destroy you. She's a woman that's going to take you down. She's going to take everything that you love dear and strip it to the bone. Well, definite. Right. A woman just filed a $100 million fake lawsuit against Dak Prescott the same way they get away with all this stuff, period. Because everybody always ignore it. And then when it happens to somebody else, then they want to cry wolf. This man lost hundreds of millions of dollars. He was one of the top earners in Hollywood. All his films was grossing over $100 million. So if you're looking at that, let's take that into consideration. If his films are making over $100 million, what do you think his asking price is going to be? He was getting ready to do an Avengers movie that's going to make somewhere between $1 billion. Creed 3 just did 100 million plus at the movies, where movies are now, that's not even a norm. Well, no one really knows what the real true yeah, nobody really knows what the true thing is. Um, but from what I could see, from what I saw, he was going out of his way not to hit that woman. And she did everything in her power to abuse him, hitting on him, pulling on him as he's trying to get away from her. Yeah, well, when people don't take things seriously and they get themselves caught in a position to where No, it's easy. It's like saying, no, it's like saying, I'm cool with this person, even though this person hasn't done anything that would warrant any type of respect. I don't believe her. And it's funny that no one is bringing up the inaccuracies in what she's saying. Nobody's bringing up any of the stuff she's done. It's okay for her to hit on him. It's okay for him to get hit. He got pictures of him being attacked by this woman. They never showed those in court. Oh, those ain't admissible. But hers were. It just don't make sense. Hmm. Well, the majority of us know that when we do something in life, you can't control crazy. That's the thing. You can't control crazy. But the thing is that you just want to have a civil life. Well, see, no, because when you do stupid stuff, you get stupid, right? Stupid prizes get stupid results. Now, that woman is the one you call your female cousins on and say, hey, come take care of her. She keep putting her hands on me. And your female cousins and sisters or whoever, they'll come over and they'll let old Grace Jabbari know it ain't okay to start hitting and pulling on people and then don't expect to get a backhand. Like in that situation, she was asking for a backhand. Not saying he should have did it, which he shouldn't have done, and he didn't do, but she was asking to get her teeth blasted right out of her mouth. Oh yeah. They always looking for a reason to pull you down. That's the main focus that people don't see. They're looking for a reason to pull you to the ground. Yeah, well, he said that's the modern woman, period. Well, y'all might see it as the modern woman. I see it as a vitriol of disrespect. And what we're witnessing here is a clear and undetermined, unskilled reason and resource as to what is going on here. Johnathan Majors, right, on the heels of being on the red carpet for the first time with him and Megan Good, the TMZ catch him coming out of the gym after a workout. He goes through a workout. He comes back talking about he's getting ready to go back to work. And all of a sudden, what happens? This woman files a lawsuit right after that. Well, well, when you have a situation where, yeah, well, I've seen it. Still haven't learned this lesson. He will be the other one. Oh no, he's learned his lesson. You see now he ain't dealing with no white women. Now, what are you gonna be faced with though? Man, it's so much craziness going on. All of it was strategic. But of course, people are telling her this is what she needs to do. Now they're gonna ruin this man, bring him all the way back down. And when they try to bring him back down to the level they want him at, then you know what they're gonna do? Now that they got him at the level they want him, then they're gonna try to get him for the low low, right? Yesterday's price ain't today's price. They're gonna strip Johnathan Majors down. So even when you see him working, he's just gonna be working and survive. This was a man that was gonna get paid $20 million a film. We lost out on a lot of great films that was gonna star this man. all because of a scorned white woman. You see, it goes all the way back to slavery. It goes all the way back to the lands of time. This goes always back to Javon. When he wanted a white woman, he didn't care what. They banished him for choosing a white woman. And he married that white woman. And Javan was the first interracial couple this world ever heard about, written about. And when they written about his kids, and they wrote about Javon or Javan, what did they write about? How different they were. But they had to be isolated. They cannot consort with the rest of the people. So we going all the way back to the beginning. He fought his whole tribe for that white woman, and now it has cost him everything he got. Somebody said, could he be guilty? What if he actually did it? Well, if he actually did it, then nobody would be sitting here saying it was wrong. If he actually did it, we wouldn't be sitting here pointing out the inaccuracies and what happened. If he actually did it, if he actually did it, we would not be sitting here going, well, damn, why did they do that to him? If he actually did it, if he actually did it, there would be evidence. There was not enough evidence to even convict him of the little thing that they had. That was them trying to get a conviction. They looked at the tape and said, okay, well, he grabbed her and put her back in the car right there. He was putting her in danger. So we can find him guilty on that. That decision didn't come from a jury. That came from the guy that they planted on the jury to make sure that they get a conviction on something. Johnathan Majors pissed off somebody in Hollywood. Somebody major. And he was the target. And you being with Grace Jabbari, this woman was going to bring you down. You being with Grace Jabbari was going to ruin you and bring you to obscurity. There was no way you were going to be able to survive. They'll get you every time. He looked so sad in court. He looked like a lost puppy. I felt bad for him. It was like going back to 1400s or something, where the white woman would go in and sleep with the slaves, and then when people confront her or she gets busted, they sit there and say, "Oh, he R-worded me. Yeah, he attacked me." And they would instantly believe the white woman and see her tears and her fake crying because they just emotional anyway. They cry over anything. So they go, well, she's crying. And then next thing you know, this man has to lose his life behind it. You see what I'm saying? So it's been a major problem that's been going on for a long period of time. Well, when you decide you want to do some things that don't make sense, you're going to often be put in a situation where, well, you don't want to be put in that situation. What you want to do, they say, well, you can't blame all white women. You don't want to blame all white women. That's not fair. If you blame all white women, what you're doing is egregious. What you're doing is a crime. Here's the thing. In society, in our time, being black, that's like saying the police gonna pull us over and give us the same treatment they gonna get to give the white person. If we believe that, we're the fools. Okay? Right. So we're naturally going to side with the idea or the reality that white women will have a certain advantage in the relationship with the black man that black men just don't have. They will have a protection that the black man just won't have. Now, I'm not saying that there hasn't been a domestic case where a white woman wasn't victimized by a black man. We have seen it on video, and right away, as soon as we see it, we say, hey, that dude should go to jail. I don't care if he was black, white, green, or red, or whatever. You can't do that to a woman, period. You know, we had a football player did that, like in Tampa. I mean, that was awful. He had kids with the woman and everything, and she was psycho, still trying to go be with this guy. He like slung her into a television. It was crazy. His rage was just insane. He's gonna hurt somebody. Yeah, well, no, those are just scandalous women. If you don't believe the Tupac situation was a setup, why don't everybody see this woman walking down the street? Pac's been dead for 20 some years. And DJ Vlad was the only person that could find her. You know how many people that was looking to interview that woman when Tupac was in jail? You know how many news outlets was reaching out to her? You know, Rolling Stone reached out. You know, everybody reached out to try to find this woman. And the only person that could find her in 20 some years was DJ Vlad. She would sit down for a DJ Vlad interview. And I was so glad he did the interview because the whole world got to see her lie. Now you can look at her reactions and tell she was lying. That woman was on social media. She ended up taking it down. She had posed in front of a mural of Pac. Absolutely. I believe there's a lot of people that's out here to do harm to you. Period. They're not here to help. They're not here to try to make sure things go well for you. They don't care. They're here to destroy and to cause confusion. That's what they want. Jonathan Major has become another cautionary tale of dating the wrong woman. When you date the wrong woman, these are the results of dating the wrong woman. Well, if you want to look at the situation at hand, mhm. Well, when you're doing well and other people are with you, and she finds out. Now, here's the thing that I don't understand, and I don't really get, and this is what really disturbs me, is that no one seems to focus on the other side. This is a woman that found out her man is texting another woman. Who would be mad in this situation, him or her? Who gonna be mad in this situation? Him or her? Now, allegedly, the person that he was texting on the other end was Megan Good, but she was never brought into the trial. They never mentioned her name, but allegedly, that person was Megan Good. So he was already positioning himself to leave her and get away from her. So him and this other woman are communicating. But this is why he said it's his fault, because he should have just broke up with her from the jump. Right? She's mad. So because somebody's built like a truck, that gives you a reason to hit that person. I don't care if I have a luxury vehicle that's a little small motorcycle and I got a big old cement truck. I don't want you hitting my cement truck with with anything. I don't care if the luxury vehicle, yeah, you don't touch the luxury vehicle, but I don't want you to hit my cement truck either. You see, nobody should be hitting anyone in the situation. If you feel like you got to hit somebody, you've already lost. The whole argument is lost. Once you got to put your hands on them and you're hitting on somebody, you've already lost the fight. Hell no, I ain't gonna let her see my phone. You can't use my comb. You can't use my phone. No, her issues are terrible. And the thing is that other white women weren't calling her out on her bullshit because they know she's full of it. Well, I've seen people not be able to deal with situations and they shy away from conflict. So I've seen this happen a lot that some people, when they're white, it just happens. They're not good with dealing with conflict. They would lie, cheat, and steal before they would sit there and admit to something that they did wrong. I've seen that a lot. So instead of going down the line of looking at the situation for what it is, people just see she was white, he's black, and that was that. No, we never ever saw an instance where we felt different or judged people. No, nobody should hit a woman, or no man should be hit by a woman. Nobody should be hitting anybody. Right, but you see, they keep screaming for equal rights, but then they keep saying only when it comes to this, a man is different than a woman. Now all of a sudden, we're the stronger, and now all of a sudden, they're docile and weak. We should be able to take the hits that a woman delivers to a man, and not in all situations the woman is the weakest one in the relationship. I've seen women 10 times stronger than the man that they were dating. I've seen a man in an abusive relationship where the woman was abusing the man constantly. And he couldn't, even if he wanted to, he couldn't beat her. If he tried to fight back, it was terrible. Thank God he's out of that relationship. But that was two white people. Two white people in a relationship like that. But he wasn't an abuser. So he wasn't gonna hit her back. But if he'd have did that, it would have been worse for him. Because she would have really got off. Right. She spent his money. Now you got her on tape chasing him down, right? She doesn't tell anyone that she ran into that she's been attacked by her boyfriend. She doesn't tell any of them she's been beat up and hurt by her boyfriend. They got footage of her going to the party, her right finger that's supposed to be broken, right? She has no reaction to no finger being broken. She's turning up, spending up his money. She's putting everything on his card at the bar, buying other people drinks with his money. He doesn't even come home to the afternoon the next day. She comes home around 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever time it was. And they got footage of her coming in there stumbling as she's walking in from the bar. Johnathan Majors gets there. And shortly after he arrives, there's a 911 call. So his story checks out. Because if he was doing all this stuff to her, he's not going to do all that stuff and call 911. He was the one that called 911 for her, thinking she tried to commit suicide. If he's black, it's a different story. It's always a different story. No matter what you do, it's always going to be a different story. It's all they know. Oh, yeah. So shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Armando Black TV. Welcome to HD IITV. HD came up here in the chat today. Shouts out to him. And we out the door.